With immigration enforcement, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass delivers her State of the City address with a focus on unity. Good evening. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Christine Devine.
Thanks very much for joining us. I'm Phil Schuman.
Tonight, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass delivering an optimistic speech about the city she leads,
urging Angelenos to present a united front as visitors from around the world arrive here for events like the World Cup and later the Olympics. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf was at Exposition Park. That's where the State of the City speech was. He joins us now live. Matthew?
Well, Phil, that speech went on for about 45 minutes, and as you guys both said, it was one of optimism, looking ahead to the future, but also felt like a campaign speech, not a State of the City. LA's State of the City speech with music and dance. A pep rally-like feel as Mayor Karen Bass projects optimism ahead of June's primary election.
I think our spirit is great and noble.
The mayor highlighting last year's deadly Palisades fire and rebuild.
More than 400 homes are under construction.
Crime.
Homicides dropped by 19%.
And ICE operations in LA.
Lawlessness and violence must end, and so must the presence of ICE in Los Angeles.
The room at USC filled with supporters and city leaders as lawsuits and controversy continue over the Palisades fire and an after-action report many consider watered down. Are we closer to learning who watered down this report and who ordered that to be watered down?
So just like the mayor's State of the City address, I think we need to look forward. We need to look for what's ahead. That's behind us.
But residents kind of want those answers.
Well, I understand that, but they have to understand what are they going to do with those answers. They want to point fingers. They want to point blame. I've taken ownership.
We have resolved nearly 120 encampments.
The mayor also touting a drop in homelessness 2 years in a row. But to many on the street, that's not their reality. There's still homelessness all over the place.
As long as people are not feeling like we're making progress, we got to just double down and triple down and keep pushing.
Help us beautify this city.
You feel like we're ready for the world stage?
We are not ready.
We are the greatest city on earth.
The mayor closing with optimism as campaign season heats up. Unfortunately, no media availability after today's speech. We've been trying to speak with the mayor, ask her questions one-on-one about all the issues impacting the city, and so far we've been waiting for that interview since before Christmas. Reporting live tonight, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
So it seems that the mayor's strategy is clearly to speak on her terms and not make herself available. You remember the anniversary of January 6th, that was done privately. And then, Matthew, she has another State of the City speech coming up in April. Like, is that going to be different?
Yeah, we don't know. We've been trying to ask those questions. But again, yeah, you're saying there's a second State of the City speech. It's almost like it's campaign season.
Yeah.
The primaries are coming up in June. And obviously, I think that's coming around the same time as the budget session is taking place, which a lot of eyes will be focused on that as well. So it is feeling like campaign season, but there's a lot going on here.
A reminder that this is an election year. All right, Matthew, thank you so much. New at 8. A gunman on the run triggers a panic at a Fullerton apartment complex, sparking allegations local police were working with federal agents. Tonight, the Fullerton police chief is setting the record straight. Fox 11's Gina Silva live in Fullerton, where tensions remain high. Gina.
That's right. There was a lot of confusion and concern, and that is why the Fullerton chief of police issued a statement. He issued a video and then also included a 911 call, which makes it clear as to why the officers responded.
There was just a police chase, and the suspect just jumped the fence, and he's hiding in our complex, and he has a gun.
A suspect with a gun running into a complex. That's the 911 call. Fullerton's police chief, John Reyes, says prompted officers to respond early Thursday morning, January 22nd.
When we receive a report of an armed suspect, we will respond every time. That is a public safety issue.
Turns out that armed man was the same person federal agents were chasing during an immigration operation.
Now it concerns us because we got a guy running around with a gun.
Some residents of the Highland Pine Tree Apartments thought the Fullerton police officers were assisting federal agents. But Chief Reyes says none of that is true.
While federal agents did search within the apartment complex, Fullerton police officers did not open or cut any gates to give federal agents access into the complex. The rumors that we did are just not true.
Uno se pone de pensar por qué está aquí la policía.
Fullerton resident Chris Cruz says he understands why some people assumed the Fullerton Police Department was helping federal agents. He says when you see officers and feds together, you start to question why they're there. There's also an elementary school near the complex, and some parents are upset they weren't notified.
There was no lockdown, no notification that no one should go outside if there was a handgun.
But Chief Reyes says the investigation was wrapped up by 7:45 a.m. He assures the community his police department will not violate state or federal law.
Situations like this place local law enforcement in a very difficult position. Since 2017, we've been clear. The Fullerton Police Department does not participate in immigration enforcement.
Now, the suspect the federal agents were looking for managed to get away. He was not arrested. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
So, Gina, we just heard the police chief put it quite clearly. It puts officers in a difficult situation. I mean, every local law enforcement department seems like they're going to great lengths to distance themselves from immigration actions. But then, like when we saw in Los Angeles on Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, it's the LAPD that responds when the feds are under attack on federal buildings. So to the public, it's confusing, right?
It really is confusing, and in this case, the chief also explained, for example, that when the officers arrived at the scene, they said hello to the agents and they shook hands, and some of the protesters and some of the folks looked at that and said, oh, they're buddies. And so he said, look, they do that because that's what you do when you meet someone new. You say hello, and out of respect, you shake their hand. And so they are obviously always going to be looked at and scrutinized. And so, you know, there's a lot of concern that local law enforcement, you know, will always stick together. And that's why they don't, you know, a lot of folks don't trust law enforcement. But in this case, the chief is, you know, setting the record straight and saying that is not what happened here.
It's interesting times for local law enforcement dealing with feds as well. All right, thank you so much. State Appeals Court has thrown out the conviction of former UCLA gynecologist convicted of sex-related crimes. And now a retrial will happen. A jury convicted James Heaps of sexual battery by fraud and sexual penetration involving his patients. Judges say juror concerns were handled improperly without lawyers being notified. The court says the mistake violated Heaps' constitutional rights. He does remain in custody while the case heads back to court. In total, UCLA paid more than $690 million in 3 different settlements related to Heaps.
Drivers who use the 110 freeway near the 105 should plan ahead this week. Crews will temporarily shut down parts of the 110 overnight as work continues on the new 105 express lanes. The closures will happen late at night through early morning. Crews install electrical conduit between the 105 beneath the 105 bridge. The work expected to cut travel times by up to 50% once completed. New at 8 tonight, daytime talk show host Sherri Shepherd is signing off from her own show. Seen here on Fox 11, it's being canceled after 4 seasons. Debmar Mercury announced that today. The company praising Shepherd and the show's creative momentum, as they said, saying the decision reflects changes in daytime TV watching habits, not necessarily a reflection on the program's success. Production will continue through the fall. Her show will air its final episodes then. She has won 2 NAACP Image Awards and earned 6 Daytime Emmy nominations.
Tonight, the La Jolla home of one of the world's most popular children's authors is on the market. Dr. Seuss, and that home is going for just under $10 million. The 5,000 square foot estate sits right above the coastline with stunning views and nods to some of the author's most popular works throughout the 1.5 acre property. Comes with 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. Dr. Seuss, or Theodore Geisel, moved to that home in 1948 and reportedly completed all of his famous books there.
Must have a nice library.
Nice view too, right?
All right, and speaking of real estate, 2 California cities make Zillow's top 10 list of the hottest real estate markets of 2026. San Jose ranked as Zillow's and LA ranked 8th. The typical LA area home value was listed at almost $942,000, and 42% of homes sold above the asking price in 2025. So these new rankings are based on price growth, the speed of sales, and the number of jobs created compared to the number of building permits issued. So it gets a little complicated. But the top 3 hottest markets are Hartford, Connecticut, Buffalo, New York, and New York City.
A swarm of earthquakes jolting Bay Area residents awake this morning. Video coming out of San Ramon showing the strength of some of the quakes, knocking frames off the wall and items to fall off the shelves. The U.S. Geological Survey says more than 20 moderate and smaller earthquakes hit that area, ranging from 2.0 magnitude to 4.2, making cities all over the Bay Area shake. Experts say it's like a continuation of the swarms of quakes the area experienced at the end of last year.
It wasn't the Patriots on the Seahawks.
Nope, that's coming up a little late. Still at 8, flying just got a lot more expensive if you don't have that real ID.
Plus, community leaders in North Hills condemning ICE after agents are seen chasing a taco vendor onto church property and detaining him in front of families.
Flying without that real ID just got more expensive. Starting this month, the TSA is charging adult travelers $45 to use an alternative ID verification system at the airport. We've told you about this. The Confirm ID check is good for 10 days, so longer trips could mean paying the fee again. TSA officials urge travelers to pay ahead of time to avoid delays or missed flights.
People at a North Hills church in the San Fernando Valley speaking out tonight after a taco vendor there running from ICE agents onto the property is detained during outdoor service. Church leaders say the incident was, quote, deeply distressing, but the feds say there's more to the story. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez has reaction from both sides.
So witnesses are telling us that Carlos was actually right here. This is where he sells tacos every day, and he sees ICE agents running in from Sepulveda chasing some people. So he decides to, of course, walk this way and get inside the church. And it seems they followed. Carlos Chavez did not get away from ICE agents who took him into custody in the parking lot of North Hills United Methodist.
Come on, man.
Holding large firearms, even as someone shouted that they were entering private property and that children, women, and elders were present, many of them waiting in line for the food pantry.
Did they ever say anything?
No, other than he was yelling at me saying it's an immigration detention.
The Department of Homeland Security telling Fox 11 they did not target the church and that Chavez, who they say had already been deported in 2016, tried to run from law enforcement, a federal crime.
Oh, we're picking up the criminals. Go down the street and pick up the drug dealer.
Estas familias.
Reaction from parishioners. They surrounded Chavez's wife and one of their 4 children as she spoke to reporters.
Tuvo que firmar para que lo sacaran.
His wife says that she actually spoke with him on the phone. He told her that he said to agents, I have bronchitis, I don't feel well. And they said, you want treatment? Sign this. It was a self-deportation order. He signed it. He's already back in Mexico, she says. In North Hills, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Coming up, the countdown to the Super Bowl is on. The New England Patriots getting ready to face the Seattle Seahawks.
But for some, the biggest part of the game is the commercials. Well, the preview next. Super Bowl Sunday is inching closer, but previous studies have found about 18% of people say they watch the big game for just the ads.
18% said that.
I might be one of those.
Okay. Sunny Bonnell is the co-founder and CEO of branding agency Motto. She highlights the qualities that help make commercials memorable in this story from Fox's Sue Guzman.
The countdown to Super Bowl 60 is on. And while eyes will be glued to the game, branding experts say many people will also be eagerly awaiting this year's ads.
It's extremely hard to capture anyone's attention. And this is one of the few times that audiences actually check in.
From green to extra right.
But with 30-second time slots costing millions of dollars, companies want to make sure they stand out.
I think emotion is obviously what makes ads stick. If they're memorable, if they can have humor or warmth or surprise or even nostalgia, they're going to be able to invoke that sense of feeling and meaning in the audience. The strongest ads are going to reflect what's happening in culture.
She said, "Can I get the clean, crisp taste of a Bud Light?" Her words, not mine.
And leading up to football's biggest night,
I can handle that for you.
several companies have already released teasers promoting their Super Bowl ads, with some even putting their entire commercials online.
You could see the positive of it and say, well, by teasing it out, we draw more interest, we draw more curiosity, we get the buzz early. But at the same time, we're so inundated with messaging, we're so inundated with noise that you wonder, is that the right move?
Meanwhile, health and wellness are some expected themes to be on the lookout for.
Right now, wellness holds a tremendous amount of cultural meaning. It's a game of relevance. If a brand doesn't sound healthy or look healthy, it's going to seem out of touch and dated.
You can check out all the ad action when Super Bowl 60 airs Sunday, February 8th. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
All right, Sue Guzman. Check this out. A ceremonial water salute marks an historic maritime meetup. This is in the Long Beach Harbor. The Queen Mary II, christened about 20 years ago, well, 2003, reuniting with its namesake, the Queen Mary. This marks the first royal rendezvous for these two vessels in 20 years.
Nice.
The original Queen Mary, which started crossing the Atlantic in the 1930s, operated for more than 30 years as an ocean liner. Now, of course, it's permanently docked in Long Beach as a hotel and museum. Queen Mary II is in Southern California as part of her 2026 world voyage, a 108-night journey around the globe with 30 ports of call.
It is my job this February 2 to look to the skies and report back to you that there is a shadow here on my ground. 6 more weeks of winter abound.
Today is the 140th Groundhog Day, and Punxsutawney Phil emerged at sunrise to make his famous prediction. But don't be fooled by Phil. Not you, Phil Schumann. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, he's accurate only about 35% of the time. Last year, Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow on Groundhog Day, predicting 6 more weeks of winter. But NOAA says that forecast did not pan out. We need to rely on Adam Kruger ourselves.
Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
Way more than 35% accuracy over here from Adam and the weather team, right?
I've got the rodent barely topped. Maybe a 40%, somewhere around. It's Groundhog Day, fun kind of tradition, right? But please don't get your forecast from the groundhog. Okay, so live view at LAX right now. This is something I talked about a couple of hours ago on our news, that we were seeing some of those clouds start to drift in here this evening from the coast. We're going to find the clouds thicken up a little bit just along the coast tonight, and maybe even a little patchy fog near the coast in the morning. That's really one of the only little downsides of the weather. It might be a little gloomy just along some of the beaches in the morning. But then we're going to see the Santa Ana winds pick up, which will keep the skies more clear, not only during the day, but during the night as well over these next few days. So really warm for Tuesday through Thursday because of the Santa Ana winds that will be picking up. I'll show you that in a moment. But it's not going to stay real warm all week. We cool it down a little bit Friday and into the weekend. On satellite right now, if you look closely, you might be able to see just a little bit of this kind of grayish color creeping in from the ocean over land. So that's the beginning of some of those low-level clouds, kind of like the marine layer, moving in overnight. Here we go into tomorrow morning, right through here. So it's not even the entire coastline, but there will be some spots where it's just kind of cloudy early on, and then those clouds go away. Lots of sun for the afternoon, and warmer temperatures tomorrow than what we saw today. We had a lot of 70s today, but we're going to get some 80s showing up tomorrow, especially inland, away from the coast. 50s in the morning. This is for downtown LA, somewhere around the low 80s in the afternoon. Sunshine all day long. Beautiful, kind of summer-like day here as we continue with these summer days in winter, essentially. High temperatures around the rest of the area. So you can see where there's orange, that's where the warmest temperatures will be, essentially between the coast and the mountains. Out into the high desert, it'll be a little bit cooler. Low desert, though, will be warm. Palm Springs at 87. And a little bit closer, there you see along the coast, little bit cooler, especially if those clouds linger a little longer, but a drastic different feel, much warmer as you go farther inland. Now, check out Wednesday. This is going to be the hottest day of the week and close to record highs. 91 is the record for LA on Wednesday's date. We're going to be in the upper 80s for inland areas, and even along the coast, I think temperatures get over 80 degrees. And the Santa Ana wind's a big part of the reason on that. So the winds have been light through the day today. That's kind of part of the reason why it was hazy. You may have noticed that during the day. We had an air quality alert. That has expired, though, as the winds start to pick up and stir things up a little better going into tomorrow. So we get the beginning of a Santa Ana wind event, kind of a weak one, starting up tomorrow, up to the north and through some of the passes like the 15 to 10, those typical Santa Ana wind corridors. But those winds come up even more on Wednesday. It's possible there'll be a few wind advisories in some spots on Wednesday, especially, I'd say, the mountains where the winds will be strongest. Big picture pattern, so we've got high pressure right here. That's just going to position itself just right where the winds, they go clockwise around high pressure, so that guides that offshore Santa Ana wind here in the middle of the week, a little bit on Thursday as well. We lose it on Friday. We have a weak low that moves in that brings the temperatures down a little bit, and also potentially, as you see, pops up a couple of showers. Why haven't we talked much about that? Well, most areas stay dry here. I think mainly just over the mountains we might get 1 or 2 showers, very minor stuff on Friday. So again, we're looking at really warm temperatures here the next few days. You see how the average is upper 60s, will be maybe 20 or more degrees above that on Wednesday, and still very warm on Thursday. Now, if this is too hot for you, well, the weekend, get it popping on the low. Better days coming for sure. I think SZA said that. 70s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That'll be still above average, but a little bit more comfortable. All right, highs for the coast. We got low 70s on, tomorrow, 80 degrees on Wednesday, coming down to around 70 Friday and Saturday. And we'll wrap it up with the valleys, the Inland Empire. 80s for the next few days, 70s Friday and into the weekend. Back to you.
Well, had a Catholic school turned into a crime scene and tens of thousands of damage left behind there.
Plus, a Kaiser healthcare worker strike now in its second week. What nurses and the hospital folks are saying about negotiations.
And the Los Angeles Teachers Union right now putting the school district on notice. Coming up, we'll break down why the union says they're ready to strike if needed and what these contract negotiations are all about.
live across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Tonight, a possible teacher strike is moving closer as teacher union members vote to authorize a strike.
So what's at the center of this dispute and how could it impact your child's classroom? Fox 11's Rachel Aragon is live in downtown Los Angeles with the latest. Rachel?
Yeah, teachers I spoke to earlier this evening tell me their previous contract ended June of last year, and they stressed to me that a strike or a walkout is not what they want. They say it's not the goal, but to avert that, they say they need to have common ground with the school district. Take a look here. We're going to break down how we even got to this stage to begin with. United Teachers Los Angeles has, get this, 37,000 members, and recently 94% of the union's members voted in favor to authorize a strike if a deal isn't reached over things like higher teacher pay, benefits, and more funding for student resources. As an example, one high school English teacher I spoke with says there's been times where classrooms have run out of Kleenex boxes and was told there was not enough money to order more. And as for why educators are fighting for higher pay, she tells me some teachers, especially the newer ones, are having to work a second job to teach and live in Los Angeles.
Yes, we definitely have an issue with pay and benefits, and it also leads to retention, right? We can't maintain in this profession if you can't afford to live and work in the city where you're serving your students in your community.
Well, the district says they presented a proposal with updated wage increases to the union last week. In a statement, the district saying they're currently faced with fiscal challenges driven by things like declining enrollment, expiration of federal relief funds, lower than expected cost of living adjustments, and things like rising operational costs. They say they recognize the real financial strain on educators. They say this moment calls for collaboration between both parties to reach some kind of resolution. Now, back here live, why is this all important? We know that Los Angeles is the second largest school district in the country with about 520 or so thousand students. And doing the math, you guys, 37,000, 94% of that is around 34 or so thousand people walking out potentially. It's a lot of teachers and staff that could potentially walk out on students in the classrooms. Again, that's not the goal, but that's just the bigger picture of what we could see if these two parties don't find a resolution. Reporting live tonight, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
So talking a possible teacher strike, what kind of timelines are we looking at here for things to develop?
You know, I asked that very question to the teacher herself. She says there's no real timeline or deadline when it comes to finding or making that deal. The deal is what they hope to have, but they do have that authorization to strike if needed and when ready. But again, they stress they hope they don't have to use that as a last resort. So really, it's just kind of taking it day by day at this point.
Yeah, you know, it's tough living in Los Angeles, making $60,000 a year. Baseball player makes $30 million. What's more important? Just throwing that out there. Thanks, Rachel.
So he's going to solve it right here. And the teacher
mentioned retention. Yep, exactly.
All right, Rachel, thanks. More than 30,000 Kaiser workers back on the picket lines for a second week at facilities all over Southern California and Hawaii. This is the scene outside the Panorama City Medical Center this morning. The unions that represent the healthcare workers on strike say they're demanding more to be done about unfair labor practices and chronic understaffing.
Would really love to be able to get back in where we belong, to being able to take care of our patients. That's where we want to be. We are so proud of the work that we do, but the current workload and understaffing is just unsustainable. The outcomes, the excellent outcomes our patients have are because of the dedication of our nurses and our healthcare professionals.
The senior vice president for Kaiser in Southern California says the strike isn't about working conditions, but mainly about wages.
The bottom line is this conversation is actually not about safe staffing. It's also not about quality of care, because we are nationally recognized for the quality of care that we offer. And we know we're staffing our facilities better than most. What we're really talking about is wages. We've been talking about that. And after over 1,000 bargaining sessions, we're still having this conversation. And in order to get where we really need to go, we're going to have to get back to the bargaining table.
Kaiser says it's offering a 21.5% wage increase and is committed to continuing local bargaining with the unions.
Developing tonight, a Long Beach Catholic school heartbroken after someone broke in, caused tens of thousands of dollars in damage. Fox 11's Haley Winslow spoke with school leaders about the discovery.
Students at Holy Innocents pray for protection after their Catholic school in Long Beach becomes a crime scene, while inside their atrium, forensic investigators comb for evidence.
When I walked up on campus, I could see the face of everyone who was here, that something had gone wrong, just the sadness and the sorrow.
Investigators estimate $100,000 worth of damage to the newly upgraded, nearly 70-year-old TK through 12 school.
It's very saddening. Yeah, it's hard to see.
Overnight, criminals cut wires, knocked out the internet, wiped out the AV system, destroyed musical instruments, and even defecated on the campus. But the sisters say what's most disturbing, the vandals desecrated devotional statues in the school chapel.
There are crucifixes, there are statues of the Blessed Mother, there are, the tabernacle itself was taken and thrown on the floor and the sacred host is there. That to me is more traumatizing than anything else. It's not just like the material things, right? It's the heart behind the things.
The sisters don't know who did this or why, but they're turning the destruction into a lesson on right and wrong.
It's not maybe a person that we can see, but you know, evil is out there. So we need to pray.
Well, I just hope that we find that the people who do these kind of things really are found, and so that they realize how much pain they cause other people.
One forensic investigator says it's the worst destruction of its kind she's ever seen. Investigators collected fingerprints and DNA samples from saliva that was actually left behind from food and drinks that the criminals had while they were vandalizing the school. The investigators, of course, hoping that helps lead them to the culprits. Reporting in Long Beach, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
It is tax season, and a new 24/7 Wall Street report shows California remains one of the most heavily taxed states in the nation for 2026. The study ranks California near the top for combined state and local taxes, driven largely by income and sales taxes. Only New York ranks higher. On the flip side, states like Florida and Texas are among the lowest taxed, partly because they have no state income tax. We're now 24 hours away from the California gubernatorial debate. It is set for tomorrow in San Francisco. Fox 11 is co-hosting. You can watch it live on Fox 11 from 5:30 to 8 or stream it on the Fox local app. Our Marla Tejas is one of 3 moderators. We also want to hear your thoughts. Scan the QR code to submit a question for the candidates.
We have a lot of questions. All right, that's going to be interesting. Congratulations to Marla.
Scan the code.
Developing tonight, a key step toward ending the partial government shutdown is underway. Tonight, the House Rules Committee advanced a funding package setting up a tight vote on the House floor. The bill includes 5 appropriations measures and a short-term extension for Homeland Security funding to allow more time for immigration talks. It's already made it out of the Senate. A critical procedural House vote is set for tomorrow. Coming up here from Compton, the CEO, Mark May, is turning youth sports into life-changing lessons.
This Black Heritage Month, we sit down with the CEO of Project Blue to hear how he's empowering the next generation with a new book to inspire kids and families across South LA. That's next. In celebration of Black Heritage Month, we are highlighting leaders making a lasting impact. So Mark May grew up in Compton and turned the lessons he learned from sports, education, and mentorship into a lifetime of service in South LA. And Mark May, we welcome you here to the set. We appreciate you and the work you're doing. Why South LA, and what difference do you want to make?
Well, it's not just South LA, it's South LA, Compton, Watts. That's where I grew up at. That's home for me, you know, and to be able to walk the streets that I grew up in and see the young individuals that look just like me, it's a purpose in life for me to be able to just come back and pour into them the way that people poured into me.
Now, we've known each other a minute, so I know you came from being a coach, to becoming a school principal, to now CEO of Project Blue, and now a book, From Sports to Life.
From Sports to Life.
What's the message in the book?
The message in the book is simple. It's just to challenge the mind of the coach, the mentor, to really meet kids where they are. You know, a lot of times we look at sports as the only way out is to be a professional athlete, and the data shows that less than 2% makes it to the pros.
And I love that you say we're about building character,
not characters.
What does that mean?
What it means is it's really just using sports to like build these transferable skills that transition into life. And we want these young people to know that if they don't make it pro, they still can be a professional something else. It's just got to figure out what that is. And it's our job as the coach, the mentor, the educator to meet those kids where they are and give them those opportunities that they deserve.
So the book is for the coach and the parent?
Coach, parent, mentor, anyone that's working with kids.
Okay.
Anyone that's working with kids, because I think it challenges them to put their ego to the side and really look at things from a child's perspective and learn how children work, learn how their brain develops, learn how they receive things, and then we can be better for them.
Wow. So we were looking at some footage of all the good works that you do. Now you are, as the CEO of Project Blue, we should note, was founded by law enforcement to bridge that gap with community. Why does that matter?
Yeah, it was founded by two individuals, Janet Crown and Steve Robinson. Steve's a reserve officer, Janet is in philanthropy, and they just had a vision to really just bridge the gap between the community and law enforcement. And you know, when they met me, it was just a golden opportunity to have someone on the front lines in the community that's doing the work. But also, if you know my history, I didn't have a good upbringing with law enforcement. So for me, it was an opportunity to get off the sidelines and get into the game and really change the mind of how we see things so we can do better by each other. It's all about humanity.
And so people may know that Project Blue also has the Watts Rams, that youth program adopted by the Rams.
Yes.
What's the message as we're heading into Super Bowl and for the kids watching these pro players?
Well, it sucks because the LA Rams are not playing, and that's what we was rooting for. But the Watts Rams, the Lincoln Rams, I Play, I Lead Academy, Marching Beauties, the Youth Leadership Council, these are all programs under Project Blue. And the message just for our kids is to just never stop believing in themselves. You know, even though the Rams didn't make it, that's not going to stop them from coming back next year, being resilient, and trying to make it again next year. So we want our kids to be able to see that, find that confidence in themselves, and it's our job to give them hope. We're like hope dealers to these kids.
And so you have the same last name as the quarterback for New England. Is that who you cheer for?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. So I got to holler at Drake May and see if we got any connections down there. And we spell it the same, too, which was quite interesting. Most people forget the E, but yeah, Drake, if you hear me, man, Drake May, that is, holler at me, because we got to figure out where that bloodline connects.
Okay, let's talk about the book for a minute. Give me a nugget in the book here.
The nugget in the book is less than 2% of NCAA athletes make it pro. And I think when we understand that, when we really unpack that, that means that it's not that kids don't have the skills to make it pro. It just means that there's not enough spots for these kids. There's over 500,000 NCAA athletes. Less than 2%, you can do the math on that.
I'm reminded, you ask kids, what do you want to do when you grow up? And they say, I want to play for the NBA.
Yeah.
I want to be a, right?
And most kids in my community, that's their first answer. And when that didn't work out for me, and I found out at a very young age when I got to high school that wasn't going to be it for me, but I grew up thinking that because people told me that. And if we keep telling these kids that, it's not that we don't believe that they can do it, but we need to prepare them the same way for life outside of sports, because when that doesn't happen, they don't have any identity. What happens next to the kid? They fall back on something that's just not really beneficial to them or their lives. So we need to train professionals, and sports is the best way to do it.
You and I met through Community Champions, a program that Fox 11 had. I was also tied to the Super Bowl. So this is the next chapter for you. Let's talk about where people can find it. Mark May's book, From Sports to Life, is out now. You can get it at Amazon. I know you're donating some of the proceeds.
All the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds go right back into youth programs. So it's not about me, it's about using my platform to further the next generation. And that's what it's about at Project Blue and all of our programs, is to just give back and be the voice for the people.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Black Heritage Month.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
All right. We go now to Adam Kruger for the forecast.
All right, well, we've got more warm temperatures, summer-like temperatures ahead. Today was actually a little break from how warm it's been lately. 70s instead of 80s. Still, though, 10 above average, 78 degrees today. Got some 80s coming in the next few days. Might get actually close to 90 by Wednesday. Here's kind of a recap of today. And boy, this is why we live here, right? 70s for most high temperatures across the map. So many other parts of the country would love to have something like this right about now as it continues to be round after round of really cold Arctic air up towards the northeast. Temperatures tomorrow, the outline. So we go 50s in the morning. We're warming up pretty quickly through the rest of the morning and then early afternoon. Again, topping out low 80s tomorrow, so that'll be a little bit warmer than today. You can see on high temperatures around the rest of the region. Again, there's a lot of orange. That will be highs in the 80s. It will be a little bit cooler closer to the coast. Still, though, again, we're talking about some nice weather. Our warmest day of the week, or maybe hot is a more appropriate word, would be Wednesday. That's when those temperatures are shooting well up into the 80s and maybe close to 90 in some spots. The record for Wednesday is 91, so it's pretty rare that we get up into that kind of range. Here's a big part of the reason why. So we have high pressure overhead now. High pressure usually brings the warm temperatures. That's going to actually drift a little north of us in the next day or two, and you can see what happens with the winds around high pressure. They go clockwise around it. What that means for us is we'll see an offshore wind or Santa Ana wind that'll kind of pick up in some areas tomorrow. It gets a little bit stronger on Wednesday. It still kind of lingers on Thursday. It's going to be kind of gusty in the typical Santa Ana wind-prone spots. A lot of us won't see a real big breeze, but in some areas and mountains and some of the passes, for example, it will be gusty middle of the week. And that, again, boosts our temperatures. Now, here's we go into Friday. You can see that high moving away. We have a little weak low that's going to replace it. And what that's going to do is potentially, don't get too excited about this, but maybe over some of the mountains, a couple of showers may form. By now, this will be some needed rain. It's been kind of a while since we saw the downpours back during the holidays, right? So this little bit of green here and there just shows perhaps over the mountains, maybe there's 1 or 2 showers on Friday. Okay, now to the Roman numeral 7 day. Drop it like it's hot, at least over the next couple of days. It's going to be kind of hot again. We talked about those temperatures in the 80s. I think I have Roman numerals on my mind because of the Super Bowl coming up. You know, the Roman numerals, we got to remember every year around this time of year what they represent. As we go, by the way, into the end of the week, past Thursday, you can see the temperatures are dropping. We're back to the 70s here for Friday, this weekend. Still warmer than normal, but cooler than these really hot temperatures we'll see for the next couple of days. All right, for the coast, we've got temps that'll be very nice. Low 70s tomorrow. We'll be around 80 degrees on Wednesday. And finally, the valleys, the Inland Empire. It's the same story. We have the 80s the next few days, 70s after that. You'll see that little 10% rain chance Monday of next week with cooler temperatures. That looks to be more of a substantial shift in our weather pattern about a week from today. Christine?
There. All right. Right, Phil, we have more news ahead here at 8.
But first, here's a preview of what's coming up when I join you in the 9 o'clock hour. Measles hit Southern California. How this once eradicated disease is making a pretty big comeback. Fox 11's Ed Laskos will be live with the details. Plus, the search continues tonight for the missing mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie. Very bizarre story. Investigators say there are signs that she did not leave her home willingly. We'll have the latest on that mystery ahead at 9.
Police department in Arizona is making it easier for parents transitioning back to work after having a baby.
The department is allowing parents to bring the newborns to work up until the baby turns 6 months old.
Wow.
Fox's Steve Nelson has more.
Little Brenner is almost 6 months old.
Oh, what's the face for?
And to say he has a loving mom is quite the understatement.
Why are you laughing?
They aren't playing at home, though. This room is down a long hallway of office doors at the Chandler Police Department. Nicole Vassy has another title other than mom. She's a lieutenant here. She's using a program Chandler PD instituted that allows her to transition back to work after leave.
The transition that goes from being at home for 12 weeks to coming to work, there's that separation anxiety. You're losing out on bonding. Some women are even contemplating putting their careers on the back burner to spend more time with their babies at home.
After 12 weeks of leave at home, she can take Brenner to work until he's 6 months old.
It helps with daycare. It's very scary sending your brand new baby to a daycare facility, especially this little.
Brenner is her second child, and she was the first to try out this program then. Now it's expanded into this room, made especially with moms in mind.
It has a computer, it has a playpen, it has a changing table, a refrigerator for formula, and then a desk for the employee to work.
Babies are cute. Brenner is proof of that, but they're also a little noisy. And she says her coworkers are understanding and helpful.
I close my door. I go for a walk. Everybody around me knows that there's a baby in here and babies cry.
And there's a hidden benefit other than the slow transition back to the full-time gig, the time together for everyone.
It's bonding. Yeah, I'm also bonding with other moms, other employees that I don't see on a normal basis. And also it's a morale booster. Who doesn't love babies? So they come by, they hold the baby, gives me a break for a few minutes. It takes a break for them out of their day. They get their baby fix, and then they go about their day.
2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
I don't think there's any babies on board that thing.
Not yet.
25 broadband internet satellites get sent to space. SpaceX launching those Starlink satellites, adding to the more than 9,600 satellites already in orbit. The company's Falcon 9 booster lifted off from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. According to SpaceX, it's the stage booster's 31st flight supporting that Starlink mission.
Cool new IT cars gaining popularity. The family minivans making a comeback. Last year, minivan sales rose 21% in the U.S. to nearly 400,000 units sold.
Analysts say one factor moving minivan sales is changing family demographics. Older millennials and younger Gen X families are growing, and they need space for kids, gear, groceries, and of course the run to Home Depot. The minivan is seeing popularity among one demographic in particular, men around 40 years old. Is that
memories of the Volkswagen van my family had?
Oh yeah, you're the Volkswagen van? Those have been reissued.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Surfers with their surfboards and yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm like a cool, single 40-year-old dude. I'm going for the minivan. Maybe that was 40-year-olds with all those other
all your stuff
families.
In it, you know.
Yeah. All right.
All I know is we all piled in at a good time.
Yeah.
Camping. Don't go anywhere. We're not done yet.
LA Live News Tonight continues at 9 o'clock. That's right after the break.
across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Now at 9, two parents sentenced to life for the unthinkable murders of their own children. Plus, a new measles case in Orange County has health officials on high alert. This time it's a toddler. Why experts are warning against a dangerous trend some parents are considering and what you need to know to stay protected.
We're in Exposition Park where the mayor had her State of the City speech. What she highlighted in reaction coming up.
And we're live from the coast to the inland valleys. Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger with a preview of what's on the weather horizon.
Well, more nice weather, in my opinion anyways. Very warm. Summer in winter, essentially. And tomorrow's going to be warmer than today. We've got a lot of areas, including L.A., going over 80 degrees. Still gets hotter on Wednesday. We'll have that forecast coming up.
And good evening, everyone. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Phil Schuman in for Marla Taves, who's on assignment. More on that later. New tonight, a measles case has been confirmed with an international traveler who visited Disneyland and Disney California Adventure back on January 28th. Health officials warn visitors to the parks may have been exposed. Fox 11's Ed Lascos joins us now with more about all of this. Ed.
Yeah, it's crazy, Phil, and I'll tell you, that's not bad enough. Now we have a third confirmed case of measles in L.A. County. All of this in just the past week alone, and it's all raising a growing concern about exposure to this highly contagious disease. Watch. A public health alert now out over the threat of a measles outbreak, bringing with it the possible exposure to thousands in L.A. and Orange counties. This after a third confirmed case of measles reported in just the past week alone. All the cases not related, but all just as concerning.
It can be concerning in the sense that cases can spread pretty rapidly if there's an outbreak. I believe I've heard that there's an outbreak in Utah and parts of South Carolina currently.
We know the contagious person in this latest case traveled to the Mardi Gras restaurant in Sherman Oaks back on January 24th. That follows yet another confirmed measles case, this one as the infected person traveled to several high-traffic areas like Disneyland and LAX, all while being highly contagious.
If one is infected, it can spread pretty rapidly. It can spread a few days before the fever starts. It can spread after the fever starts. The incubation period is about 7 to 21 days. And so it's really unclear how dangerous it can be.
This measles case traced back to an international traveler who visited Disneyland on January 28th. That has health officials out warning about the threat of exposure for anyone who may have been at Goofy's Kitchen, California Adventure, or the Disneyland park itself. All this measles is highly contagious, but it is preventable with a vaccine.
The way to protect oneself and one community is to make sure that we have probably about over 90% of people who are vaccinated or immune to the virus.
And as the good doctor tells us, if you have been exposed and well, you really won't see the symptoms. It takes a while, maybe 7 to 21 days. But the thing is, if you do see those symptoms, you got to call your doctor first. You don't go in to the ER unannounced because then if you're contagious, you risk spreading it to everybody else.
Disneyland.
Of all places.
Yeah.
Think about the thousands who are there. They're trying to contact, well, actually right now, CDC's trying to contact the folks who are on the airline with that international traveler to see if they could find out if they had any close contact. But yeah, you've got Disneyland. There was also a Dunkin' Donuts up in Woodland Hills, so it's widespread.
But I mean, how dangerous is it?
Well, they say it's very dangerous, especially if you haven't been vaccinated, or as most of us as young children, you wind up getting the measles, you know, and so that it builds up your immunity, and you don't have to worry about it. But the thing is, without the vaccine, yes, it's very dangerous. And then, as you know, and I'm sure most of the folks know, it's really dangerous because as the symptoms progress and you don't get any treatment, it could lead to some brain injuries, and in some cases, I hate to say it, measles could even be deadly.
Yeah, especially if you have underlying disease
Health
or
concerns,
something.
yeah, exactly.
Something else to be concerned about.
Know, one thing
but the thing, 7 to 21 days seems like an awfully long time to wait for something to develop, right?
Well, one of the doctors said it's like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, because how do you know where you've been for the past 3 weeks?
Well, even yesterday sometimes.
All right, Ed. We'll keep an eye on that one. Thank you. Good to see you here in person. All right, beautiful night there looking over the San Fernando Valley, I believe. The lights of the city twinkling as always. It's time to check in with Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger. Adam.
We can see a little haziness on that shot right there, and that's going to be a part of our short-term weather story is some low clouds starting to stream in here overnight tonight, not making it very far inland at all, just kind of a along the coast situation as far as the clouds go. Let me show you what Futurecast shows going into tomorrow morning. You can see this gray color right here, so that's where we expect a little bit of cloud cover, maybe some patchy fog at worst in the mix right there as well, but that would go away pretty quickly later tomorrow morning. Sunny everywhere tomorrow afternoon, and I just want to take this into tomorrow night to show you you the lack of clouds as we go Tuesday night to Wednesday morning. And the thing that's changing here Tuesday night was we're going to start to find the Santa Ana winds pick up, so that keeps the marine layer clouds away, but also brings our temperatures up a little more the next few days. So tomorrow we will be warmer than we saw today. We had a lot of 70s today. Tomorrow it's more so 80s, especially for inland areas away from the coast. Lots of areas in the low and mid 80s, very warm, but check out how hot it gets on Wednesday. Could hit 90 in a couple of spots. We got a lot of upper 80s on the map, and even along the coast, it will be over 80 degrees on Wednesday. In February, in winter, we're talking about temperatures near 90. Very warm still Thursday, cooling at the end of the week. We'll get to that on our 7-day a little bit later. Phil?
Thank you, sir. A gunman on the run triggers panic at a Fullerton apartment complex, sparking allegations that local police were working with the feds. Tonight, as Fox 11's Gina Silva reports, the Fullerton police chief is trying to set the record straight.
There was a lot of confusion and concern, and that is why the Fullerton chief of police issued a video that includes a 911 call that explains why the officers responded to the scene.
There was just a police chase, and the suspect just jumped the fence, and he's hiding in our complex, and he has a gun.
A suspect with a gun running into a complex. That's the 911 call. Fullerton's police chief, John Radis, says prompted officers to respond early Thursday morning, January 22nd.
When we receive a report of an armed suspect, we will respond every time. That is a public safety issue.
Turns out that armed man was the same person federal agents were chasing during an immigration operation.
Now it concerns us because we got a guy running around with a gun.
Some residents of the Highland Pine Tree Apartments thought the Fullerton police officers were assisting federal agents. But Chief Radis says none of that is true.
While federal agents did search within the apartment complex, Fullerton police officers did not open or cut any gates to give federal agents access into the complex. The rumors that we did are just not true.
Fullerton resident Chris Cruz says he understands why some people assumed the Fullerton Police Department was helping federal agents. He says when you see officers and feds together, you start to question why they're there. There's also an elementary school near the complex, and some parents are upset they weren't notified.
There was no lockdown, no notification that no one should go outside if there was a handgun.
But Chief Radis says the investigation was wrapped up by 7:45 a.m. He assures the community his police department will not violate state or federal law.
Situations like this place local law enforcement in a very difficult position. Since 2017, we've been clear. The Fullerton Police Department does not participate in immigration enforcement.
The suspect the federal agents were looking for managed to get away. He was not arrested. Reporting from Fullerton, I'm Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
Lancaster couple sentenced to life in prison without parole for the brutal murders of their two eldest children. Prosecutors say the parents, Maurice Taylor Sr. and Natalie Brothwell, decapitated the children and forced their younger siblings to view the bodies. The surviving children are under protective order. Authorities discovered the tragedy after Taylor missed work meetings. The state appeals court overturns a conviction of a former UCLA gynecologist named James Heaps. He was found guilty in 2023 of sex-related crimes. Judges ruled that juror concerns were mishandled and that violated his constitutional rights. He remains in custody pending retrial. UCLA paid more than $690 million in settlements related to that case. And newly released files in the Epstein case reveal emails between Casey Wasserman, head of the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Committee, and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. The emails from 2003 seem to show a personal relationship between the two. Wasserman, in a statement, expressed regret, saying the exchanges occurred long before Maxwell's crimes were known. He also strongly denied any ties to Epstein himself. The files, of course, part of a massive document release under the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass delivering an optimistic speech about the city she leads, especially as visitors from around the world will be arriving. Fox 11's Matthew Seedoff reports.
That speech went on for about 45 minutes this evening. It sounded more like a campaign speech than the State of the City. LA's State of the City speech with music and dance. A pep rally-like feel as Mayor Karen Bass projects optimism ahead of June's primary election.
I think our spirit is great and noble.
The mayor highlighting last year's deadly Palisades fire and rebuild.
More than 400 homes are under construction.
Crime.
Homicides dropped by 19%.
And ICE operations in L.A.
Lawlessness and violence must end, and so must the presence of ICE in Los Angeles.
The room at USC filled with supporters and city leaders as lawsuits and controversy continue over the Palisades fire and an after-action report many consider watered down. Are we closer to learning who watered down this report and who ordered that to be watered down?
So just like the mayor's State of the City address, I think we need to look forward. We need to look for what's ahead. That's behind us.
But residents kind of want those answers.
Well, I understand that, but they have to understand what are they going to do with those answers. They want to point fingers. They want to point blame. I've taken ownership.
We have resolved nearly 120 encampments.
The mayor also touting a drop in homelessness 2 years in a row. But to many on the street, that's not their reality. There's still homelessness all over the place.
As long as people are not feeling like we're making progress, we got to just double down and triple down and keep pushing.
Help us beautify this city.
You feel like we're ready for the world stage?
We are not ready.
We are the greatest city on earth.
The mayor closing with optimism as campaign season heats up. The mayor was unavailable for questions after today's speech. We've been trying to have a one-on-one interview with her since before Christmas. Reporting Exposition Park, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Well, Sherry is saying goodbye. Daytime talk show host Sherry Shepherd. Her show, Sherry, seen here on Fox 11, is being canceled after 4 seasons. The company behind it says it's simply a reflection of the shifts in daytime TV watching habits. Sherry earned 2 NAACP Image Awards and 6 Daytime Emmy nominations. Final episodes will air this fall. Grammy history up next. Bad Bunny with a groundbreaking win and delivers a powerful message that brought the crowd in L.A. to its feet. And an intense search underway for the missing mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Investigators say there are signs that she did not leave her home willingly. Coming up, what the sheriff revealed about what he calls the crime scene. Plus, a Sunday service takes a dramatic turn when a food vendor flees ICE agents onto church property. Why church leaders are calling it distressing. Right now, urgent search efforts are underway in Arizona for Nancy Guthrie. She is the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, reported missing over the weekend. Now the Pima County Sheriff confirms they have a crime scene at her house, noting there are signs she didn't leave voluntarily, but no details have been released. Search efforts include drones, dogs, and detectives. Foul play has not been ruled out. People at a North Hills church in the San Fernando Valley are speaking out after a food vendor runs from ICE agents onto the church property. The incident described as deeply distressing, but federal officials say there's a lot more to the story. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez spoke to both sides.
So witnesses are telling us that Carlos was actually right here. This is where he sells tacos every day, and he sees ICE agents running in from Sepulveda chasing some people. So he decides to, of course, walk this way and get inside the church. And it seems they followed. Carlos Chavez did not get away from ICE agents, who took him into custody in the parking lot of North Hills United Methodist.
Immigration, man, come on, man. Holding large firearms, even as someone shouted that they were entering private property and that children, women, and elders were present, many of them waiting in line for the food pantry.
Did they ever say anything?
No, other than he was yelling at me saying it's an immigration detention.
The Department of Homeland Security telling Fox 11 they did not target the church, and that Chavez, who they say had already been deported in 2016, tried to run from law enforcement, a federal crime.
Oh, we're picking up the criminals. Go down the street and pick up the drug dealer.
Estas familias. Reaction from parishioners. They surrounded Chavez's wife and one of their 4 children as she spoke to reporters. His wife says that she actually spoke with him on the phone. He told her that he said to agents, I have bronchitis, I don't feel well. And they said, you want treatment? Sign this. It was a self-deportation order. He signed it. He's already back in Mexico, she says. In North Hills, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
Once again, we're looking live out at the Santa Monica Pier, looking south on the ocean, and another beautiful night. And we got some phenomenal temperatures coming up here, Adam Kruger.
Well, so I know, so you like the warmer temps, is from what I can gather. So, I mean, we're talking about, near record highs, actually. Wednesday, maybe not everyone is a fan of that in winter. I think it's not so bad. Today was great. In my opinion, we had 70s, but it does get warmer the next couple of days. So Tuesday through Thursday is going to be our next little heat wave. Santa Ana winds, part of the reason why temperatures will start to spike once again. We'll look at that. And then it will cool off a little bit to maybe just like overall more agreeable temperatures for Friday into the weekend, meaning a lot of highs in the 70s. So it's still pretty good. All right, temperatures tomorrow. Let's look at this. In the morning, it's got that nice kind of cool-ish feel. We're in the 50s, but look at how quickly the temperatures go up from 8 a.m. to noon. It's going from 56 to 78 degrees, and then low 80s for highs for around the downtown LA area tomorrow. Of course, near the coast, it is going to be a little bit cooler. Some spots a little farther inland, a little bit warmer than what LA sees. So there's 2 big factors here for why we're going to be so warm. One is just high pressure in the atmosphere overhead, and high pressure tends to bring warm and dry weather. So we were feeling that already today. But because of the position of this high in the next day or two as it goes a little farther north, coming around the back end of that will be a wind that blows for us offshore from land to ocean. And so while today the winds were pretty light, calm, we actually had some hazy air quality alerts today because of the lack of wind. Those air quality alerts are done tomorrow, and that's because the winds start to pick up a little bit. There's overall more mixing going on in the lower part of the atmosphere. And you can see these couple of streaks right here where the winds will be gusty. It's the typical Santa Ana wind-prone spots. I mean, you can count on this anytime we get those Santa Ana winds picking up, that it's pretty much going to be this area north of LA and mostly north of the valley, and then through these passes here in the Inland Empire. That's just the go-to spots where the winds usually pick up when we get Santa Ana winds. Then we go to Wednesday. You can see the colors enhanced a little more, the numbers a little bit bigger. So Wednesday is going to be our stronger wind day, and there's still going to be a bit of a Santa Ana wind on Thursday. It's possible Wednesday. We have some wind advisories posted mainly across some of the mountains. So again, we talked about that high, and here's where it's going in the next few days. The winds go like this around it, so once it's here, we get those winds blowing, again, a little stronger offshore here for our area. And then the next little thing we'll see at the end of the week is a weak low that might, as you see, pop up a couple of showers over some of the mountains, but the rest of the area stays dry. But that also brings our temperatures back down to, like I said, some nice comfy 70s at the end of the week. Not so bad. So really warm stuff here. Average is 68. We're going to be about 20 degrees above that on Wednesday. There's a look at the highs Friday. This weekend, we're down to the 70s. And after that, we do get even a little cooler, I'm thinking, early next week. Notice Monday, we're down closer to average. Phil?
Thank you, Adam. We get some breaking news now. It's a very dark shot, but we're following the story out of Malibu, where a vehicle has apparently hit and killed a pedestrian. You can see the flashing lights there of the Sheriff's Department responding. Sky Fox is live over the scene now, and all lanes of PCH in both directions are closed near East Winding Way. That's roughly near the Paradise Cove Beach, near Canaan Dune. No word yet on exactly what happened. We know that PCH is potentially dangerous to pedestrians. It's always a source of problems for high-speed drivers. Again, apparently a person has been struck and killed by a driver on PCH. The Sheriff's Department is investigating. We'll have more on that as soon as we get it. Breaking records coming up. Bad Bunny, there he is, makes history at the Grammys last night with his all-Spanish language album. But it's his powerful speech in very clear English that's stealing the spotlight. Well, earlier we told you about Sherry Shepherd. Now it's Kelly Clarkson. She is stepping away from her daytime talk show after its 7th season wraps this fall. The Grammy winner says she's ending the Kelly Clarkson show to focus on her kids, calling it a necessary decision for the next chapter in her life. Fans can still catch her on The Voice, and of course, her music career is going as strong as ever. Kendrick Lamar makes Grammy history. Last night he raked in multiple awards and is now the most awarded rapper ever, 27 Grammys. surpassing Jay-Z records of 25. He's also the first rapper to win back-to-back Record of the Year awards. There was sort of a funny, awkward moment, too. Cher accidentally announced the song title Luther as the winner being the late singer Luther Vandross. It was not good. Bad Bunny takes home 3 Grammys, including Album of the Year, the first ever all in Spanish. The reggaeton performer used the Grammy stage as a political platform 1 week before his highly publicized Super Bowl halftime performance. Fox 11's Laura Diaz has some reaction.
Bad Bunny! It was an emotional punch for performer Bad Bunny at the Grammys Sunday night. He's from the island of Puerto Rico and performs only in Spanish. Among his honors Sunday, he won for Debí Tirar Más Fotos, Best Música Urbana Album, and he took home the award for Best Album of the Year, becoming the first all-Spanish language album to win Album of the Year. When Harry Styles introduced him, Bad Bunny literally stopped cold. Vanessa Diaz is an associate professor at Loyola Marymount. She's co-authored a book called PFKNR, How Bad Bunny Became the Global Voice of Puerto Rican Resistance. She spoke to the cultural moment.
This was such an incredibly meaningful moment for Latin music, for reggaeton, for his fans, for Puerto Rico, for Latinos. There is so much happening right now that is not joyful, that in fact our communities are being terrorized and our loved ones are being hunted down by ICE. And he came out not just with his first speech saying, you know, ICE out.
ICE out.
Of course, this cultural moment plays out as ICE raids continue around the country. Bad Bunny also playing the coveted halftime show at the Super Bowl next week, getting pushback from Trump supporters as they urge people to boycott the halftime show. But popular radio DJ EJ from Powerhouse Kiss FM told us even if you don't understand Spanish, music lovers are drawn to his music.
I grew up in a reggaeton era, so I didn't know a lick of what was being said, but all I know is that the vibes were good. We were having a good time. The parties were popping. I think that's what it's all about.
In Los Angeles, Laura Diaz, Fox 11 News.
And the Los Angeles Teachers Union now putting the school district on notice. Coming up, we'll break down why the union now says they're ready to go on strike if needed and what these contract negotiations are all about.
Thank you, Rachel Aragon. Plus, we're celebrating Black Heritage Month with a spotlight on a superstar designer. Angela Dean has dressed the biggest of stars from Halle Berry to Patti LaBelle. But what she did for Madonna has people talking now.
across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Powering through a Monday night here, a possible teachers' work stoppage one step closer as teachers' unions in Los Angeles vote to authorize a strike. What's at the center of this standoff and how could it impact your child's classroom? Fox 11's Rachel Aragon live in downtown LA with the latest on this controversy. Rachel.
Well, Phil, I talked to teachers earlier. They tell me their previous contract had ended in June of last year. But, Phil, they also stress they want to avoid a strike if possible. That is not the end goal. The goal, they said, is really to find common ground first, of course, to avoid any kind of walkout. Take a look here. I'll break down how we got to this place in the first place. United Teachers Los Angeles has around 37,000 members, and recently 94% of the union's members voted in favor to authorize a strike if a deal isn't reached over things like higher teacher pay, benefits, and funding student resources. As an example, one high school English teacher I spoke with says there's been times where classrooms have run out of Kleenex boxes, and she was told that they had not enough money to order more. As for why educators feel they need higher pay, well, teachers tell me some of those educators, especially the newer ones that are hired, are having to work a second job to teach and live in Los Angeles.
Yes, we definitely have an issue with pay and benefits, and it also leads to retention, right? We can't maintain in this profession if you can't afford to live and work in the city where you're serving your students in your community.
Well, the district says they presented a proposal, by the way, with updated wage increases to the union last week. In a statement, the district saying, in part, they're currently faced with fiscal challenges driven by things like declining enrollment, the expiration of federal relief funds, lower than expected cost of living adjustments, and rising operational costs. They also say they recognize the real financial strain on educators. They say this moment calls for collaboration between all parties to reach some kind of resolution. Now back here live to really break down why this is all important. If you do the math or so, 94% of 37,000 members is around 34,700 people. That's the number that could walk out if they need to, they say, and strike if they don't come to an agreement. So that's a lot of people impacting over 500,000 students across the LA school district. So hopefully, of course, I'm sure parents as well are hoping this does not happen, but it's something we'll certainly be monitoring to see if those two parties do come to some kind of resolution. Pretty live tonight, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Rachel. Tomorrow night, the race for a California governor takes center stage on Fox 11 and on our Fox local app. You should have that, right? Candidates face off in a high-stakes debate as key issues from public safety to the economy are front and center. And our Fox 11's Marla Tejas is one of the co-moderators of that debate, and she has a preview of what to expect.
We are inside the Ruth Williams Bayview Opera House in San Francisco. This is the site of our gubernatorial debate scheduled for Tuesday night at 5:30 right here on Fox 11. Let's take you behind the curtain so you can get a good look of the stage that is just about set. We will have 7 candidates on stage, and we will be talking to them about things that matter to you, things like wildfire recovery, gas prices, immigration.
This is their first real big chance to hear from these candidates on the big issues.
We have a wide range of topics, and we do want to hear from you. We will tell you how you can do that during the debate, so stay tuned. Look forward to you joining us again on the Fox local app, KTTV, and KTVU. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5:30 on...
All right, there you see it. You can watch the California gubernatorial debate in San Francisco. It's live from 5:30 to 8 p.m. on Fox 11, or stream it on the Fox local app. The Fox local app, it's free. Again, our very own Marla Tejas, who you just saw, one of the moderators. And if you have a question for the candidates, check this out. You can scan the QR code, very high tech of us, to submit your question. All right, he's best known for playing Bobby Ewing on Dallas and, of course, Step by Step and The Bold and Beautiful. And you know her from Happy Days, Matlock, a music career, all kinds of fun things. And a few years ago, during COVID, it's a beautiful story. They found love together And they're later in life, I guess we could say. I'm
Fair
part
enough.
of the group. And tonight they're both here in studio to talk about their love of not just each other, but of baking and of giving back, helping the hungry. Patrick Duffy and Linda Pearl, welcome.
Well, thank you.
So this is very unusual. Southern California is rolling out Duffy's Dough.
Duffy's
Yes,
Dough.
sir.
Wide, right? Exclusively at Ralph's stores. So Duffy's Dough, obviously Duffy, and the dough, it's sourdough that started with this,
sourdough. It's 5
family
varieties.
recipe from decades ago.
Yeah,
It's been in
the
my
starter,
family
yeah.
for 70 years.
70 years.
70 years.
Okay.
Got it in Alaska. Theoretically, the woman who gave it to my mother said it came up with the gold rush miners up there, which would make it now about 125, 130
Okay.
years old. I don't know if that's true, but I'm sticking with that
Sounds
story.
good. Yeah, it's a good story.
That sounds good. But
so
I
this
can
is the
vouch for this.
starter that you're talking about. For people who don't know, like what is a starter?
The starter is what originated all of this. A starter is just flour, water, and yeast.
Okay.
And in the old days, it's airborne yeast. Now they make yeast, so you can just stick a yeast tablet in there. But originally, that's how they made bread.
So you started this company.
We did. We started it in the garage. We thought, we can dehydrate at the starter and we'll sell it. And that was a terrible business plan. But because once you earn a customer, they never have to come back. So we were very fortunate to meet with Kroger's, and they said, we'll take you on. So they sell 5 different varieties of take and bake sourdough bread. So we don't have to do any of the work, and neither do you.
But all of the proceeds, though, go to hunger relief organizations.
That's right.
That's obviously
And that was
key.
the selling feature that Kroger really glommed onto and made them want to bring us aboard. They're one of the most philanthropic grocery outlets in the entire country.
And Ralph's
So 100% of the proceeds go to
100%
them.
of our net
proceeds that come to
profits.
us,
Kroger makes their thing,
yeah.
and they pay us a percentage, and then all of that goes into hunger relief.
So
And Kroger's is Ralph's across.
Right, Ralph's, of course. Yeah, the parent company, Ralph. So you have a different variety of different bread products?
We have 5 different, whole
Here,
wheat
you can
loaves.
try one. Will you try one?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a normal one, and then there's
This
a
is
whole wheat, and then there's sandwich things. Oh, good. She's going to start making.
And then tomorrow, you guys, are you going to both be in Studio City in Sherman Oaks?
Yes, we are. Studio City in the morning. There
and
you
then
go.
Wednesday is the St. Vincent's Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've now been able to donate money to Meals on Wheels in several different cities around the country, in Texas and in Houston and Dallas. Not too bad, huh?
Huge need for.
Well,
we've done so many stories on the news about food insecurities.
Oh, it's huge.
Food banks.
We knew we wanted to do this, but now that we become involved with, they've rolled us out in Ohio and Texas and now California, and we're starting to get an education on the need for food, to meet food
1 in
scarcity.
6 children are starving, basically, or going to bed hungry.
I mean, that's incredible.
1 in 6 in the country.
And it's solvable. And Ralph's is doing so much to help solve it.
Ralph's
Nothing goes to
has
waste.
served 20 million meals.
26 million meals.
26 million meals.
26 million meals.
26 million
in a year.
So, it's a company that is completely aligned with why we wanted to start this company in the first place.
Nothing goes to waste when it meets its expiration date. The trucks are waiting in the back and they get delivered to food pantries. What can't go there goes to a dedicated compost facility in Compton. So it's very sophisticated machinery to give
You
back.
learned a lot about the food business.
We have,
We did.
yeah.
We did. And most of it is half and half, encouraging and depressing.
Yeah, right. But you're making a difference.
We are
So
making
good for
We hope
you.
to.
And
We hope to.
We hope to make a bigger difference.
So 2 meet and greets. So tomorrow, Tuesday, February 3rd, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Ralph store in Studio City. That's not far from where I live. Ventura and Vineland, basically.
Yeah.
And then the other one at Ralph's Fresh Fare, that's on Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks.
Yep.
And then Wednesday, tell us about the Meals on Wheels.
The
or
Meals
St.
on
Vincent
Wheels.
Meals on
St.
Wheels.
Vincent, well, it's a huge operation, as I'm sure you know, to sort of to make meals and get things delivered and also to serve people there. So we'll be there learning about it, helping if we can, and hearing stories. I mean, you go to these places and the stories,
Very
and
sad,
there are angels there that are doing good work, and it's very inspiring.
All walks of life, high school students that are in their 3rd year working for Meals on Wheels, volunteering just to go in there. And that's the encouraging part. And the other encouraging part is we in the other cities that we've been to so far, we take the meals and we go there, and we're able to talk to the people who survive on that one delivery. That one delivery.
Wow.
And many of them vets, you know, American vets. And so, you know, it's a shame. But thank goodness there are companies
At least
like
you're doing something.
Kroger, and
taking action.
We're doing our best.
Hoping,
you know,
yeah.
And so buy a loaf of bread.
All right, I will definitely do that.
Right now.
Patrick Duffy, Linda Pearl.
Where's your wallet?
Thank you very much.
Where's your wallet?
We'll be right back.
You need your wallet to
Do you
buy
have Venmo? Do you take Venmo?
Yeah, we do take.
Calling all fashionistas, this one's for you. We highlight a designer whose work has graced the covers of Essence magazine. Christine Devine talked with her. She joins us now.
Yeah, so this is Essence magazine, a collector's issue, and inside is a celebration of designer Angela Dean and a very famous cover. For Black Heritage Month, I sat down with Dean, and there's a twist to her story with it tied to Madonna.
This is a beautiful gown that I designed.
Gorgeous garments.
This is a jumpsuit that I created because I love being diverse.
Fit for a celebrity.
This is Patti LaBelle.
And this is Patti LaBelle.
I designed this beautiful ensemble for Patti LaBelle.
For decades, Angela Dean is designed for the, quote, godmother of soul. Up in her workroom, patterns just for Patti. You've been here how long?
I've been here at least 30 years or more.
This is where the magic is made. You like to be up here.
I love to be up here. This is where I live.
This is Dean Zine, her mid-city area showroom. On the wall, a blow-up of her breakout work. To be in Essence magazine meant what?
It was life-changing.
It was the May 2000 30th anniversary collector's edition of Essence magazine. A little known Angela Dean got the cover.
I designed everything, put everybody in their coordinated colors.
Actresses Regina King, Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, Michael Michelle, Elise Neal, and Halle Berry. And the Halle Berry story where you're zipping up the dress? Yep, there's a young Halle Berry being fitted.
All of a sudden,
Holly sat down and everybody came around her in the photo, and it was voila. Before that, they were sitting all on boxes.
They were 8 A-listers 25 plus years ago.
Every black woman in the country and the world respects and gives honor and homage to that cover due to it just was the camaraderie that came together.
The look?
That was when we presented the jersey. Clean, understated.
That cover was celebrated just last year in the Essence 55th Anniversary Collector's Edition.
I have done 9 Essence covers after that. I'm very known for jerseys.
Dean grew up in Long Beach and is a married mother of 2.
Oh my God, I started sewing at 7 years old. I went to the Fashion Institute, then I went to another trade school to get my, skills up. I went into the industry, designing for various companies and also doing patterns initially.
It's here at the legendary Trashy Lingerie in West Hollywood.
That's where I did Madonna's Bullet Bra.
Where her story takes a turn.
Did you know that the comb bra worn by Madonna was designed by me?
That look for the 1986 Open Your Heart music video, she says, was booked through Madonna's stylist.
She brought a 50s bra in order to do a rendition of it, and she had some ideas as a stylist on what to do. So we put gold tassels on it, put some gold trim on the corset. Shortly after that, I designed another comb bra corset for Madonna that was trapuntoed, laced, and had gold tassels.
But that cone bra concept made headlines when Madonna did a famous collaboration with French icon designer Jean-Paul Gaultier for her Blonde Ambition tour.
It is definitely a distinct difference in these 2 designs, but they were both on the tour.
On her social media, Dean is stepping up with her story.
At the time, names were very important. So if you were Jean-Paul Gaultier, or if you were, Dior or Oscar de la Renta, Versace, that was very common to push those names.
The topic became a talker on social media with curious minds wanting some clarity. And we do know Dean is the backing of some high-ranking black industry insiders. T.J. Walker of Cross Colors, worn by Tupac. Kevin Hall, once the creative director for Halston. And Ruthie Carter, with movies like Sinners and Black Panther. She is the most nominated black woman in Oscars history. Together, this Fab Fashion 4 was found the Black Design Collective in 2018.
So I said, well, maybe we need to start something where we can really make our history relevant, help new and up-and-coming designers come forth. I said, because I've been fighting, trying to get my name, brought to the forefront for so many years with all the work.
Back to Dean's designs with that white gown in her showroom. Seen at LA Fashion Week, powered by Art Hearts in 2023. Wait for it to come down the runway and the career celebrated.
It's been amazing for the work I've done, but it has not been amazing for my credits of what I've done. And that's been the challenge. And that's why I'm now telling my story.
But magazines like Essence have been telling it. All right, so the Black Design Collective mission is about scholarship, mentorship, and entrepreneurship in the community of black apparel.
Now, your stories are always so interesting. You discover so many unique people in Southern California, like her.
Yeah.
What's the Black Collective doing? I mean, is it like having success?
It's a membership program,
yeah,
and you can sign up once a year for the membership program. It's all about mentorship programs. They have sewing classes, they have guest speakers, and one of their big awards events, they honored Ruth E. Carter, who, Black Panther,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
And it was right before they had it planned when she was a nominee, and she won, and they had the event.
All right. Next time we do maybe the Oscar fashions, we should have her on.
She's great, right?
Or I'm sure she had lots to say about
the black and white one.
Last
if
night
I can fit in the black and white one, that's the one I want to wear.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Very interesting. Thank you so much. All right. With that, we move right over to our main man, Chief Meteorologist Adam Kruger. Adam.
Yeah, so we are looking at some very warm days ahead here. I know we've been talking about warm weather a lot lately, but by Wednesday, I think it could be the warmest in about 3 months since early November. So, yeah, there's some heat on the way for sure. First, let's look at where we're headed overnight tonight, dropping down to, as you see, around 50, low 50s will be very common for a lot of the greater LA area. Pretty similar to what we saw last night. But tomorrow will be a little warmer than what we had today. Most areas, whether it was coast or inland, it was highs in the 70s today. Tomorrow, as you see, it's going to be a little bit warmer inland with temperatures heading into the 80s. And part of the reason for this warm up is we've got Santa Ana winds that are going to start to pick up a little bit. Not that it's going to be real windy everywhere, but in the typical Santa Ana wind prone locations. So usually that's this area up here to the north and then through some of the passes in the Inland Empire, a little bit gusty tomorrow as well. Then as we look at Wednesday again, here's our peak of this round of heat coming our way these next couple of days. Look at the temperatures, close to 90 degrees in some spots. Even along the coast, it's over 80. That's pretty wild. The record high for Wednesday's date for LA, by the way, is 91. So we're not that far from a record high there. So it's high pressure that's bringing warmer air, and also the fact that the high is going to shift a little bit in the next few days, allowing that wind to go like this right around it. That steers in the offshore or Santa Ana wind. So we see that a little bit tomorrow. The wind picks up even more Wednesday, still kind of hangs out on Thursday. Behind this high, we have a low coming in. Now, this is pretty weak, but it will start to bring our temperatures down a little Friday and into the weekend. Also, this low, let's track it coming in here from Thursday into Friday, might actually produce a couple of showers. That's what these little green spots are showing, but the majority of that is over the mountains. This is going to be kind of from the air that's forced uphill from the mountains, and then some rain may get produced over the mountains, not necessarily anywhere else. So most areas don't see much rain there at all on Friday, and on Saturday you see that low departing, and again maybe there's like a raindrop somewhere over the local mountains here, but it's going to be mostly dry. So our 7-day forecast, well, we've got those warm temps. Tomorrow is 80s. We'll go 89 on Wednesday, still in the 80s on Thursday. And then Friday and into the weekend, temperatures are more so in the 70s. Now, as we get into Monday of next week, we are looking at a more substantial pattern change that brings the temperatures down even more. And maybe there's a chance for a few showers for a few more of us by Monday of next week, but that's a long way off. Meantime, next couple of days will be very warm. Back to you.
All right, Adam, you'll like this one. Kenan Thompson. Yes, that Kenan Thompson brings some Mighty Ducks magic to Anaheim. Coming up, who the NHL star surprised, and a closer look at his legendary chant. Well, Noah Kahan is hitting the road in 2026 with a massive North American tour, you know, stick season. He also just dropped his new single, The Great Divide, which debuted at #1 on Spotify's U.S. charts. His fourth album, also called The Great Divide, arrives in April. Tickets go on sale in February. Pre-sales start February 10th, to be precise. If you're planning ahead, he hits the Rose Bowl on August 15th. Should be awesome. And that is SNL's Kenan Thompson bringing Mighty Duck magic to Anaheim Sunday night. The OG Disney Mighty Duck surprised his friend Alex Kilhorn for his 1,000th NHL game and fired up the team with a quack chant. With Hockey Hall of Famer Teemu Selanne by his side, Kenan watched as the Ducks reclaimed a wild card playoff spot. Thanks for watching LA Live News tonight. We appreciate it. Our 10 p.m. newscast is just minutes away on Fox 11.
Basic problem with the beginning of the relationship, I think, is that each person has their own sexual timetable of what should happen when that the other person knows nothing about. That's why I really think we need some sort of sexual rule book where it's written down and agreed upon sexual standard dating procedure. You know what I mean? So if there's any problems, you can go, look, honey, I'm very sorry, but we've been out 3 times, and according to Article 7, Section 5, there's got to be some physical contact, as you can see right there. Otherwise, I will report you to the board, and they can put out a warrant for an embrace.
Lobster Fest at Red Lobster. The largest variety of lobster dishes. Like new Lobster Fest Duo, new Lobster Fest Boil, and create your own lobster lover's dream. It's the one, the only Lobster Fest for limited time.
Welcome to Good Night LA. I'm Christine Devine. New tonight, a possible teachers' work stoppage is one step closer as teacher union members vote to authorize a strike. So what's at the center of the standoff and how could it impact your child's classroom? Fox 11's Rachel Aragon live in downtown LA with the update. Rachel?
The teachers I spoke to earlier today, Christine, saying